Hey guys, wanted to do a quick tutorial on textured paper because I've been using it a lot. So I'm just going to make this again from scratch. Okay, so I have my new layer, and you know I always start with a beige color. And the first thing I want to do is I'm just going to take the beige color. It'd be the same thing if it was white. Just take the white color and just sort of make a darker version of it. Doesn't have to be too dark, but just make a darker version of whatever color your background is. And now I'm going to go to my brushes, sketching, and soft pastel. And what I always do is I make a separate brush, so I just swipe on that and hit duplicate. That way I don't lose any of my original brushes, because those are annoying to get back. Tap on the brush again and then go to properties. And then I'm going to set the size to maximum. Okay, and then I'm going to hit done. So now I have my, I'll rename the brush texture. That way I'll always know what this brush is. So now you see, if I go like this, you see a nice texture here. So on my new layer, I'm going to make the brush as big as possible. And then I'm just going to lightly just color over that layer. And just make it as even as possible around the whole piece of paper. Or the whole canvas. So now you might notice there's some sort of splotchy areas. So what I do is I just take the eraser, a soft brush, make it pretty big and lower the opacity. And I'll just soften it up anywhere you see there's a little bit of unevenness, because that happens sometimes because of the way that the brush applies the the different settings for the brush. So just make it even out, and just use erase a little bit. And now you want to set this layer to multiply. So now it's a multiply layer, and you can see it made it quite a bit darker, but you can see this really nice texture. Let me make sure you can see this nice and clear. So you have this really nice texture here, and multiply is great. You want to do your drawing underneath. So if I was drawing something, let's go back to my Drug-Free Dave brushes. So if I'm drawing underneath, you can still see that grain. You can still see that texture, even when you're drawing something underneath it. And give them a little. And even if it's too much, if you want it more subtle, you just lower the opacity. And if you wanted a different color, you can change the color a little bit. Oh, I think I'm on the wrong layer. You can change the color of the grain. But I usually like it to just be darker than whatever my background is, just so it looks more natural. And that's pretty much it. You can experiment with other brushes. You can sort of do the same thing. This is just an easy way to get it look like watercolor paper, which is what I really like the look of. And that's what I drew on traditionally. When I used to draw pencil and paper, I would buy watercolor paper because I like the texture. And also, one last thing I forgot. If you want to make it look a little more aged, just make a new layer underneath, and you can go back to your darker color. You can make it a little bit darker. So now we're on a new layer underneath our texture layer, and just do a regular soft airbrush, and then just sort of very lightly give the edges a little flavor. And give the corners a little bit of a vignette type look. And that way that gives it a nice little, nice little something something around the edges. But just make sure that they're nice and smooth and soft. And you can take some away just using the same airbrush. If you need to take some away, you can use your eraser and kind of make it nice and even. So I always do that too, and I wanted to make sure I put that part in because this is how I really love my paper. And you can play around with the opacity until it's exactly the way that you want it. All right, thanks for watching. Keep drawing. I will catch you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching the video. I really appreciate you. Be sure to like and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram at DrugFreeDave. And don't forget to join my private Facebook group, Procreate Tutorials and Guidance. Check me out on Facebook. Hopefully I'll see you guys soon. And as always, keep drawing, and I'll see you in the next video.